Good afternoon, welcome to my channel. This is Amanda the Stitching Panda and this is a channel about cross stitch. We occasionally discuss other crafts, but not today. Today is all stitchy, all stitchy. I do talk about books and things I've watched and life stuff, but that's at the end. So if you're not interested in that, then once I've done the stitching bit, you know, you can go off and watch somebody else. I would like to welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome new subscribers. I have had a few more. We have gone over to 502. So if it stays that way, because sometimes when you put a video up, the numbers drop again and then go back up again. I don't know what YouTube does, but if it stays at over 500, then I will organise a celebratory giveaway for my next video. So welcome to the new subscribers. Welcome back to my long-suffering subscribers. It's lovely to have you here again. I really do appreciate the fact that, you know, you keep coming back and watching and pressing the like button and, you know, maybe leaving a comment or whatnot. I'm not very good at commenting back, but, you know, I do read them and I do put a heart on them and I do appreciate them. So yeah, so I've got how many projects? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 projects to show you. Yeah, 7 projects. I was thinking about another one, but I'll explain about that in a bit. But that's not as many as normal, I don't think. But anyway, I've forgot one little bit of information, so I'll get my plans book out ready for that. Okay, so we'll start off with the October stats, because obviously now, I didn't say, remember, it's the 5th of November. Gunpowder, Treason and Plot, does it go? It's the day when we celebrate Guy Fawkes, or we're not celebrating Guy Fawkes. He tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. So, I mean, to be honest, it might not be a bad thing now. But, yeah, I didn't say that, YouTube. Yeah. So, and it's 25 to 2. Sorry, I was doing so well. It's a very dull, wet day here in the northeast of Scotland, so I'm not sure how good the light's going to be. I can never really tell. The light's there's a window. I hope it shines enough light in that you can see what I'm showing. So anyway, October stats. I had 1 non-stitchy day in October. That's the first non-stitchy day I've had since, I think it's about May or April kind of time. And that was the day of my aunt's funeral, so, you know, understandable. I do try to make sure I stitch every day. I did 13 full coverage projects. I had 3 starts. I had 2 finishes. I worked on 23 projects in total. My focus piece for, well, at the minute till it's finished, I got 3,836 stitches in on Wowie. That was my focus piece. And for the total stitches for the month, I got 18,207. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. So we'll just start at the beginning. I've got diluting juice today. It's Vimto. So let's get going. Because this fortnight it started once I'd finished all the prompts for October. So all the projects barring two were just what I randomly picked. I say randomly picked. It wasn't that random. What I did was I went through my diary planner journal thingy and noted down how many times I'd worked on all of my WIPs. And why I was doing that, because I wanted to see if there was anything that I hadn't actually worked on yet this year. And if there was, then that was what was going to be pulled out. As it is, it turns out I've worked on all of my WIPs this year. So that is really good. I was pleased about that. Some of them, however, hadn't had as much work as others. So they were the ones that I chose from. But when I did my last video, I was in the middle of doing my more stitches on my Wooey piece. So this is this one. This is artwork by the McNeil Studio, and it's a snippet called Westy and Robin. And this is being done for a memorial piece for my boy, my Wooey. He was my Westy. And this is the focus piece that I've got, and I am still planning, as I mentioned in the last video, I'm still planning on this being a finish in February next year. So here we go. I got this here completed. So the Westy is fully done. He's all complete. So now we're really just working on the Robin and the background. Oh, and part of the window frame that comes down here. So this is being done on a piece of 18 count Aida that I'm gridding myself as I go, and I'm doing it 2/1 full cross. I do all of mine as full cross because I tried tent and I really can't. No, I get too with it. So I got 1,358 stitches in on him on that particular run of stitching, but as I said, in the actual month of October it was 3,836, so I was pleased with that. The next piece is the one that I am doing for my Foxes Never Quit, my football stitching, and that is to do with the idea that was from Kim Hollenbach for the Gridiron Challenge, but as I don't watch American football, my son does, but I don't, I did it for the football team from where I used to live, Leicester City. So I am using this one because we are the Foxes, and this is the Winter Fox, and it is from the Cross Stitch Studio, and this is a crop version. He's so cute. I have to say, we are not doing quite so well at the moment. The stitches that I got into this one, this is being done on 20 count Aida, 1/1 full cross. And I put 180 stitches in. Since that time, they have had 3 games, 2 losses and a draw. So we have I got 200? I think I've got 200 stitches. Yeah, 200 stitches to add to this. So, but yeah, not doing quite so good at the minute. Next up was one that hasn't been worked on very much. It is from Charting Creations and it is Witch, and it's by Helga Helleborus. This is being done on a piece of 18 count Aida that I am gridding myself, 2/1 full cross. And I'm not doing too bad on this at all. So this is where I was working in. And this is what, I don't know if you can see all of that. Hopefully you can. But this is where I am. So a long way to go. But I got 1,301 stitches in that. And that was just one day of stitching on it. Because as you can see, it's block colour at the minute. So it stitches up fast. And so I was pleased with that. Next up was my Highlander piece, because that had only been out a couple of times. And this is one I did from Pick to Pat, the Highlander movie poster, because it's my very favourite film. And I got 834 stitches in this one. Again, this is 18 count Aida, 2/1 full cross. And here we are. This is the area I worked on. I work in a 2-column, the length of the page, and I pick the first symbol. I go from right to left. I'll pick the first symbol and work all the way down the column with that symbol. Then I go back to the top, next symbol. So it's kind of a Stitching Mommy typewriter method, but just tweaked slightly. So yeah, that was that one. Next up is this one. Was a New Year, New Start a couple of years ago. And this is now, sadly, it's a memorial piece for Bentley, who was our black cat, who we lost almost a year ago. The colours on this are just, oh, so yummy. I got 2,020 stitches in on this. So there we go. And we have an ear. Look at the ear. Oh, I love it. 2/1 full cross. I thought it was 20 count, but maybe it's 18 count. I'm not sure. But yeah, we have an ear. So I'm very pleased with the progress on that one. Thoroughly enjoyed it, which I do with all of my projects pretty much. So then the next project that I worked on was Sunflower Cottage, which is this one here. This is artwork by Donna Gelsinger. A lot of people were doing this one a year or so ago, and I just love the colours, and I thought, yeah, I'm jumping on board with that. Excuse me. So this, for its initial run out, got 361 stitches, but that was last week. But this, last night, in actual fact, it was out for how many prompts? For 2 prompts. It was out for the Magazine Monthly Challenge prompt, which is steel, and that was for the S, Sunflower Cottage, and it was also for the I Spy Challenge, the challenge number 7, which was a house, and this has a birdhouse in it, so it fit for those. So last night when I worked on it, I got 528 stitches in it. So there we go. So I've been working down here. So yeah, again, 18 count, 2 over 1. So as you can see, I've done a lot of full coverage this last fortnight. So, next up is my, well, no, let me get this right. I pulled out my monthly freebie because I have a load of free kits that are from magazines, and I picked 12 out last year and I put them all in envelopes, numbered them 1 to 12, and then I do a random number pick each month. And the one that came out was I'd already completed one of them that was in it, and it was a heart, a Christmas tree ornament in the shape of a heart, and the Ada has been cut in the shape of the heart. Now I worked it out and I counted and I looked and I thought, yeah, okay, I should be okay because it's been cut to size, and you do an outline edge all the way round. So I started stitching and I got to the bottom and I thought, that's not going to fit. I'm going to go off the end of the fabric. So I worked my way back, counted and counted, and I'd made a mistake. I was 1 stitch out. I thought, So I unpicked and I went again, and it still didn't fit. And I thought, okay, right, okay, what I'll do is I'll go the other side and do the other side and see if I can kind of fudge it at the bottom. No, there's no fudging it. It is, it's been cut too small for the stitching that's required of it. And I looked at it and I thought, And I'd stitched all of this on Saturday night, and it was like, that's all a waste. And I just thought, you know what, this isn't one of the ones that I love. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. I don't love it that much that I really want to stitch it. So I'm not gonna. Life's too short to restart something just like, no, I'm not doing it. So this month, it could be counted as a fail, but it's not my failure. It's the people that did the cutting of the bloody fabric. So anyway, so next up in my monthly plans is my November cupcake for the month, because I've been doing one a month, and it's by Doreen Jones, and we're doing one a month. There they are. And it's this one here. I can't believe that I've only got one more left to do. Unreal. I know everybody keeps saying it, where has the year gone? But seriously, where has the year gone? So, these are being done on 18 count Aida that I've had white. I've had many years in my stash. And there it is. The poppies for Remembrance Day. It's just beautiful. I love it. So yeah, just one more to do. I don't have anything set for next year that's like this. But I do have that project that Sampler H2, I think it is, where I'm going to be filling in one thing a week. So I'm not sure whether I'll do another thing like this where it's one a month. I'll see. Maybe I will. I am going to do the freebies again next year. I've already got them picked out. I think I mentioned it the last time. It's going to be Disney characters because I've got enough of those. So yeah, so that was the last of my stitching for this fortnight, and I got 7,560 stitches. So not the most but not the least, so quite happy with that. What next? I've no haul. Well, I say I've no haul. I've got, it's not exciting, but needed for my master set. I went through what my spares are, and these were the ones that needed replacing, so they came in. So yeah. Ordered them from Arts and Designs, and ordered them on the Saturday night, and I thought, well, they're not going to go in the post till Monday, so at the earliest I'm likely to receive them Tuesday, but they arrive Monday morning. So excellent service from Arts and Designs. So yeah, I am still collecting my Pip and Chip bobbins every month. The next one's on its way, so I think that will give me 4. I don't know, only done 3, I think so. And I have my Bisley cabinet now with the foam inserts. That was my purchase from my birthday money, and the foam inserts were from Tom. So yeah, Tom bought me foam inserts for my for my Bisley 5-drawer set. So yeah, I will make a start going through my master set and bobbinating everything over onto my Pip and Chip. Oh God. My Pip and Chip bobbins, and I'll have them in my, it's just sitting just here, so everything will be in my drawer, so it will save me keep flipping my thing over, and and worrying I'm going to knock the damn thing on the floor and it's all going to go everywhere. So yeah. So that is all my stitchy content for this video. So if that is all that you were wanting to see and listen to, then thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed and you feel like subscribing, please do so. And you know, all the YouTubey stuffs. So for those of you that have stayed, I have been watching some stuff. I've been watching my usual Flosstubers. I've watched Nessa, and I've watched Sharon at Fun with Cross Stitch, and I've watched Laura Stitching by the Shore, and Katie, and Crafty Emily, and Stitchy Bug, quite a few others. I've not listed them, but yeah, all the usuals. I also finished watching that thing I was watching on Prime, I think it was, called Case Histories. That was fine. Quite easy watching. I then watched it was a New Zealand drama on Prime called Top of the Lake. I watched the first season. I didn't watch the second season. I found the first season quite hard going, as in it wasn't an easy watch. And I tried to watch, I started the next one and I just thought, no, I'm not doing it. So, you know. Then I watched a few old episodes of Top of the Pops. Did anybody watch Top of the Pops back in the day? I don't think you got this abroad. I think this would have been only in the UK we got this. And I don't even know if it'll show up on YouTube for anybody out with the UK. I'm not sure. But yeah, Top of the Pops. It was the weekly music show where what songs that were in the charts and things, and they had to have the artists on or videos, and you know, you got to, and this was a staple of my life growing up as a kid. My dad is big into music, and the Beatles in particular. I was brought up on the Beatles. When I was a kid, when I was a baby, in fact, the only way they could shut me up if I was crying was to play me Beatles music, and then I'd be quiet. So, and I have some of my early memories and fondest memories, some not so fond, but fondest memories were of watching Top of the Pops every Thursday night at 7:30. I loved it. We'd all sit down together and we'd watch that. The not so fond memories were if I was, my punishment, if I'd been naughty, was I didn't get to watch Top of the Pops. And it was like, no, bed. It's been bad. So so yeah, I've what there's random episodes that they'll put on, like from 1978 or 1982 and stuff, and I'll put it on and it's like I watched it. I know I watched it way back then, but obviously you can't keep everything in your brain, can you? So, and there's some songs it's like I have obviously heard this because I watched this. It was religiously every week, but I have no memory of that song. So yeah, it's quite odd. And the other thing that I watched, again, New Zealand, it was a Scottish/New Zealand programme on the BBC iPlayer called The Ridge. and that was really good. That was really good. There was a few bits in that where I had to plug my ears because I didn't like the sound of something. I won't go into it, but yeah, no, just no. It wasn't good. And I listened to 2 books. The one called The Small Museum by Jodie Cooksley, and that was a historical fiction book, and it was from the point of view of a couple of characters. One of the women was in prison, and this is back in late 1700s, early 1800s, and she was on trial. And her friend who was coming to see her in the prison, and you were going backwards and forwards between what had led up to her being on trial. So that was a good book to listen to. And the other one I listened to was called The Teacher's Secret by Lauren North. So again, that was a good book. It's one of them where, you know, you just never know what's going on behind closed doors. Put it that way. That's that. And you don't always assume that other people are doing stuff for the wrong reason. You know, they might not be doing something wrong. It could be that they're doing something good, but from the outside it looks wrong. I can't really explain it any better than that without kind of giving it away. So, and I'm always worried about doing that. I don't want to spoil a book for somebody that's going to listen to it. It's like, how much do you say? So, yeah, that is all the stuff in my notes, because yet again I had notes. I'm doing really well with that. So I have all my plans set out in my notebook here for my magazine monthly challenge and the November cross stitch from Adelaide Stitches, and the prompts from my scrawly writing, my prompts from Stitching by the Shores I Spy challenges. So I've got those all written out. I think I'm going to add in another one next month, but we shall see. I think I can maybe possibly manage to add in another one, because I don't just do one, you know, they can cover multiple challenges, as you know. So life update is what have I done since the last time? I went with my grandson Finn, who's 4, went with him on his sponsored walk last Wednesday it was. So that was fun. How many kids was there? It was about 7 or 8 kids, and it was good fun. It was lovely to getting to spend time with them and stuff, so enjoyed that. This weekend pass was meant to be a sleepover, but it was also the bonfire night in Elgin, at Cooper Park in Elgin. So Anne-Marie and Thomas had already asked us to go along with them and the kids to see that, and we thought, well, by the time we've done theirs, and then if we bring them back to ours, they're not going to get much in the way of their sleepover. So we've put it back to this coming weekend, so they get to have an exciting weekend with the bonfire thing, and then this coming weekend. They're ours. So there is that. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, now, I had a very odd thing happen last night. I was sitting here and I'm stitching away and I'm watching Laura's flip through from Stitching by the Shore, the flip through of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas magazine. I'm watching that, and so every now and then I stop and I'm like at the screen, and out the corner of my eye I saw movement, and I thought, eh? And I turned, and there's a cat, a black and white cat, which is not my cat, had come in and up on its back legs, paws up on the arm of my chair, and then gives me a little tap. And it's purring away quite the thing. And I'm like, oh, hello, who are you? No collar, nothing. I have heard a cat out and about the last few weeks, months, meowing and meowing, and there's been a few like cat scuffles outside that we've heard from other people's cats, and I don't know if it's one of those cats, but because our bedroom is that way and our window is always open, and out of our window there is a single story roof bit where the kitchen was put on after it was an extension. So cats, and we've had a visitor before quite a few years ago that used to come in. It was a lovely grey cat, and she'd come in and she'd sleep on the bed, and she'd come in the middle of the night when you were asleep. Because I was thinking for a start, what on earth is going on? Why can I hear movement? And then discovered it was this cat. But then she suddenly stopped coming, and it was like she's probably found her way home now, because nobody seemed to know this cat. But now we have another one. And I mean, it's not like skinny, it's quite big, it's very friendly. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but I think it's a boy. So yeah, and I stroked it, and it kind of had a little wander round and then went through and lay on the bottom of the bed and had a nap. So yeah, I don't know. We've named it Sausage anyway. Because it was like, well, I don't know if you're a boy or a girl really, but we'll just go, oh, cute little sausage. So yeah, might not ever come back, I don't know. But yeah, it was quite odd. Is that everything? My cats are still doing fine. They're downstairs. They can't get upstairs. Because they're indoor cats, and they are. The other night, we had a roast dinner on Sunday. Tom did a roast dinner, and he did enough to do 4 people. So he plated up 2 dinners. Because of my work and his work at the minute, when getting dinner before I go off to work is a bit of an issue. So we thought, well, we can have a micro reheat with the dinner, which we did. So I put mine in. Tom wasn't back from work. I reheated mine. And I went and had mine. And after I'd finished, I went back through. I thought, what's that on the floor? It was a lump of chicken. Cooked chicken. And Marley's sitting there, quite the thing, and having a bottle. And I'm like, oh my God, I'd forgot to put Tom's plate back in the microwave. And they'd eaten the chicken, apart from a lump about that big. You could see the teeth marks in it. It's like, oh my God. That's his dinner gone. Everything else was still there. It's like, oh. Oh. So yeah, I had to message him and say, I'm really sorry. And he just messaged back, laughy faces. He's like, it's okay, I'll get something on my way back. Which he did. So, they are naughty little boys. So yeah. So yeah, that's don't leave food out when you've got cats, because they'll steal it. Well, mine will. Little monsters. So yeah. Right, I think I've waffled enough, haven't I? For 41 minutes I've waffled. So I think that it's time to toddle off and go and do something. I'm not sure what, but I'll go and do something. And I will be back in a fortnight, which will be, I don't know when, towards the end of the month. Hopefully with loads and loads of stitching. Loads accomplished, I hope. Depending on what my wheel spins up for me, because I put all my prompt projects onto a tiny decisions wheel and let that decide. And there is a new start on there, so maybe that will have been pulled out by then. So I might have a new start. We'll see. So I will go, and as always, I wish you all a wonderful stitchy fortnight. I hope you get to do all the stitching that you want to do, and I hope that everything is absolutely wonderful with you and your family, and that life is treating you good. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now.